Please make welcome, as Memories Theater proudly presents Mr. Charlie Hodge.
Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome the Jerry Springer group, wherever they are. Am I going to have to put up with you all night long? Well, let's get you a mic and let everybody see you. Come on up. Huh? You don't want to come up? Well, then don't be talking then. A little thing there called open mouth, insert foot. Y'all been having a good time. I've been listening to you back there, hadn't you? All right? Yeah. Okay, where's them cameras? Well, you see, as much as I paid for these teeth, I'm going to show them, you know. Elvis was a lot of fun to be around. He loved a good joke and a good laugh as well as anybody I ever seen in my life. And he couldn't tell a joke worth a flip. He could remember the words to a song now from 30 years ago, but when it come to a joke, he'd tell the punchline first or forget it. He would. What he liked to do, though, is get somebody in a position where he knew what was going on, and they didn't, so he could laugh at them. You know, I remember when J.D. Sumner and the Stamps Quartet first came with our show. Elvis got all fixed up, man. He's ready for them. He said, Charlie, go tell J.D. and them as soon as the first show's over, I got to see him and the whole quartet upstairs in my suite. So I went to J.D. and I told him, I said, J.D., Elvis said as soon as the first show's over, he wants to see you and the whole quartet upstairs in his suite. He said, don't worry about Stamps, son. We'll be right there. Well, that's about as low as I can talk. J.D. went much lower. I can't even think as low as J.D. But anyway, what Elvis had done, see, he had all the security people that worked for the hotel and his own security people that accompanied him from his suite down to the showroom every night. He had them put blanks in their pistols. And he had Sonny West put on a stocking hat and sunglasses, you know, so nobody recognized him and hide out back. When J.D. and them walked in, Elvis went up to him and said, J.D. said, you guys got to help me out tonight. There's a guy threatened to shoot me during the second show. So you guys watch that audience. He said, if you see anybody stand up or point towards me or start towards stage, said, yell at me so I can drop down on stage and they won't shoot me. J.D. said, don't worry about Stamps, son. We'll be right there. About that time, Sonny come running in, and he said, all right, Presley, you SOB, said, I got you now. And Red turned around and started running towards Sonny, and Sonny shot him with a blank, and Red fell down like he's dead. See? And so Elvis dropped down on the floor, and when he did, J.D. landed right on top of him. And I never thought I'd see two men get under one piano stool. But Ed Enoch, the lead singer of the Stamps, and Bill Page, the tenor singer at that time, they both got under that piano stool somehow. Looked like he's trying to bury their head in the carpet, you know, rear end stuck straight up in there. I guess they was praying. And then Donnie Sumner, J.D.'s nephew, he's about 6'1", weighed about 35 pounds. Yeah, he could swallow a grape and looked like he had a pot belly. But it was about 9 yards from where he was standing to the bar over there, and when that pistol went off, he cleared it in one jump. Meanwhile, Sonny come through the kitchen and the dining room, and he was sneaking. There was 2 steps leading down into the living room, so he was sneaking down by the wall like that with a pistol out like that, and Donnie looked over and saw that pistol come out. He grabbed the only weapon he could find back there. It was a can of tomato juice, about that big. And he took it, got a hold of it, drew back and threw it and missed the pistol and then fell right in front of it. Just like Sonny said, he turned white as a ghost. But J.D.'s still over there. And Elvis started giggling, see, because Elvis knew what was going on. So Elvis laying there going, and JD started going. So JD started raising up, and when he did, one of them guys turned around and shot a blank at him, and that water didn't come out of that blank and hit JD in the face, and he said, by God, they are using real bullets. But, you know, there's always somebody seeing Elvis somewhere. You know, last year they came out with a T-shirt with all, on the back of it is all the places Elvis was seen last year. Bismarck, North Dakota, Winnemucca, Nevada, Oklahoma City. But, well, he did come back about almost 3 years ago for Lisa Marie and Michael Jackson's wedding. Well, he did, and there's proof that he came back, too, because they found a blue suede shoe in a certain part of Michael's anatomy. They say love is blind, but she didn't have to go prove it, did she? But, you know, really, there's always somebody seeing Elvis somewhere. You know, like, you remember the first time the Pope came to this country? Well, he got off the plane, see, and had those beautiful white robes and everything. And everybody on the ground looked up and saw them white robes and everything. They said, Elvis, Elvis. He said, I'm not Elvis, I'm a DePaul. And then he got in that big Cadillac limousine, he's going down to his hotel, and he's going by, and people saw that big, long black Cadillac and them white robes, and they said, Elvis, Elvis. He said, I'm not Elvis, I'm a DePaul. Got to the hotel, got in the elevator, and went upstairs to his suite and opened the door, and there were two beautiful blondes in there. They said, Elvis, Elvis. He said, well, the bless of my soul. You know, Pope John Paul is the first pope in about 500 years who's not Italian. He's Polish. What a lot of people don't know is they almost elected another Italian as pope. He was from southern Italy, and his name was Cardinal Scola. But they got to thinking about how it would sound. Pope Scola. Like I said, Elvis couldn't tell a joke too well, and usually when he wanted somebody to tell a joke, he'd call and ask me to do it, because a lot of times when I tell stories, I like to use other people's voices. Like, do you remember Gomer Pyle? Okay, and Festus Hagen on Gunsmoke? Okay, Gomer comes in first. Festus, come here just a minute. Don't get me tickled. If you get me tickled, I can't do them voices. I'm not going to point her out. But there's one little lady down here I just can't look at, man. She's sitting there going, I have to look over here one. Said, if you guess what I got in this sack, I'll give you half of it. He said, now, Gomer, said, you could have 100 different things in that poke you got in your hand, son. Said, Don just can't guess. You got to give me a hint. He said, all right, then, I'll give you a hint. Said, I'll give you a hint. It starts with an N. Said, well, now, that hopes me out some. It starts with an N. Is it an apple, Said, no, it ain't no napple. It starts with an N, but it's not no napple. Said, well, it's not an apple, and it starts with an N. Is it an orange? Said, no, it ain't no orange either. Said, well, it's not an apple, and it's not an orange. Is it an egg? Said, no, it ain't no egg either. He said, well, Gomer, said, I give up. He said, surprise, surprise. It's a nanner. All right, y'all about ready for Lou to come out? Well, wait a minute. Let's try that one more time. Y'all about ready for Lou to come out? There you go. There you go. That's the way to do it. Make him feel really good when he comes out. Just scream, holler, and stomp your feet, and give him a great big round of applause. Will you do that? All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we got just a minute. So let's have a little rehearsal. So everybody get ready now. Come on. Scream, holler, yell, stomp your feet, and give a great big round of applause for me all the way over to that door. Because if you don't, I'll be so embarrassed. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you.